Alright guys, it's time for part 2 of this. I'll give you a quick bicep shot and then get into these questions. Sorry, the bicep shot sucked. The owl pillow was blocking my arm. Alright, first question. Does dietary cholesterol have negative health effects? And if so, at what point in terms of milligrams per day? You want to know the truth? Nobody knows. This has been debated for over 40 years now. This was done as a result of Ansel Keys' research back in the early 1970s. The Nixon administration picked it up and it became official U.S. government policy. And once something becomes U.S. government policy, it becomes truth, regardless of if it's true or not. So this is more about politics than it is actual truth. The reality is the data that he presented was very poorly done epidemiological data, which has pretty much the lowest level of proof that you can get in nutritional science. But it doesn't show causation, and this has been pretty well debunked, and it's actually debated tremendously how much dietary cholesterol, if at all, actually affects lipid profiles and in what way. And it's quite a complex topic. And it's also even debated how much those changes in lipid profile actually affect your health in a positive or a negative way. So this is way too complicated to cover in a Q&A other than to say that the effects of dietary cholesterol upon your health are massively debated and no one seems to have the answer yet. Although I would venture to say that when compared to a lot of other lifestyle factors, the effect upon your health of this is going to be very, very minimal. There are a lot of other factors that tremendously impact cardiovascular health that are much more serious than your dietary cholesterol intake. Alright, next question. Thoughts on chiropractors and deep tissue massage for bodybuilding? I am personally a fan of chiropractors, and it's not because I think there is much science to validate it, but just due to my own personal anecdotal experience. I slipped a disc in my back when I was 16, and a surgeon thought I was going to need surgery, but my mother took me to start seeing a chiropractor that same day, and within 6 weeks of seeing him 3 times a week, he got my disc to stay back into place. It showed to be perfect on the x-rays, and I avoided a surgery. And now, 20 years later, I am deadlifting and squatting a pretty decent amount of weight, and still have no problems with my lower back. So for what it's worth, I think they can be useful. I personally use a chiropractor still, and it's similar with deep tissue massages. I don't think we have much in the way of actual proof that they're going to help you as an athlete or a bodybuilder, but they may help with recovery. And if it's within your budget, so don't break the bank doing this, because these things are not proven to work, so don't break the bank doing them. But if it's within your budget and you want to give either one of these a try to see how it affects your recovery, give it a try and see how it goes. If it doesn't make a difference, don't keep throwing your money away. But if it helps, consider continuing it. And it's as simple as that. Alright, last question. What's your least favorite thing about living in England? Well, last time I answered what was my favorite thing. And my least favorite thing living in England is going to be the Chavs. And for everyone who's not in the UK who doesn't know what a Chav is, Google it. Even better yet, go to Google Images. I have neighbors who are Chavs. I see Chavs walking down the street, and I have to say that living on the same street with 4 or 5 Chavs living on the street will actually make your life rather annoying. Even having them living in close proximity to you, because Chavs in general cannot help but scream and yell out in the street and in public, and to make as much of a scene as possible every single day. They're completely incapable of behaving themselves in public, and anyone who lives here can attest to this. Alright, but that's really all I have to say on that today, and I will talk to you guys next time.